You guys gonna be a house call now. Oh, she's excited. Man, what's up? What do I keep these damn?
Juan Sanchez to the podium, please.
I need to know more. you are lagging. What the what? Now, if you're talking about the video,
mask just for this.
Yeah. This is going to be a good one right here.
Counselor, could you please announce?
Yes, Judge. Elliot Briggs from Grand Canyon Law Office for Mr. Sanchez, who's present in custody.
Thank you. Sir, could I please have your name and date of birth?
Juan Antonio Sanchez, January 9, 2000.
And counsel, before I move forward, I know you filed your notice of appearance on his new case. Will you also be representing him for his probation violation?
Yes, we will, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Sir, you're here today on two matters. You are here on a Superior Court new case and a probation violation warrant. So let's talk about your new case first. You have been arrested for possession of narcotic drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony, conspiracy, a Class 2 felony, and illegal control of an enterprise, a Class 2 felony. These were alleged to have occurred on February 19th, on or about February 19th of 2025. Mr. Crowley, are you going to be arguing probable cause or just arguing release conditions?
Nah, Tito hasn't called.
So I did want to make a probable cause argument, Judge.
Okay, please go ahead.
So the case itself, there's not a lot of evidence there. I'm sure you read the Form 4. There's a confidential informant that's involved who's in return for their finding people selling drugs for the DEA is getting their own charges reduced. And in this specific case, they gave a name of Jose Figueroa, and
Ask me that
Mr.
before
Figueroa,
this
they followed him to a buy, and a car shows up that belongs to Mr. Sanchez. There's an unknown male that gets out of the car, and DEA, nobody knows who the male is. So at a later date, obviously they figure out the car belongs to Mr. Sanchez, and they show a picture. I'm presuming they didn't say exactly what they showed to the undercover informant, but they show him some sort of picture, and the confidential informant says that it's Mr. Sanchez, and that's all there is tying him to this case. I know that they did do a search of his home and all of his vehicles, his work truck, as well as his other vehicles during this, and didn't find any kind of illegal contraband of any sort. And so for that reason, we'd say that there's nothing really tying him to this. It's Mr. Figueroa who should be being charged. And so we'd say that they don't have probable cause at this time to make the arrest, Judge.
Thank you. After reviewing the Form 4, after hearing from defense counsel, at this time, I will find probable cause on 3 charges. Mr. Sanchez, probable cause is the lowest standard that we have in the criminal justice system. It falls well below beyond a reasonable doubt, and it simply moves your case forward. And so moving forward, your counsel, if it comes time to trial, the standard to actually have you convicted is beyond a reasonable doubt. And so at this time, I am going to find probable cause as to the charges that you were arrested for. Your next court dates are going to be February 26th and February 28th in downtown Superior Court. And now, counsel, would you like to be heard regarding release conditions?
Yes, Judge. So Mr. Sanchez is a family man. He's married. He has 4 children. Like I said, he owns his own trucking company, and he's the sole employee for the trucking company. So if he's not out there working, the company doesn't run, essentially. And so, like I said, he's got 4 kids. He's the sole provider for them. He has ties to the community because of that. He's also lived here in the Phoenix area for his entire life. He does have the 2 prior convictions, Judge, but he never missed any court dates on either one of those. He's got no failures to appear. He has hired us to represent him through this, and he is wanting to clear his name in this case. Like we just discussed, there's not a whole lot tying him to the case. And so for those reasons, we'd ask for either a low bond. Mr. Sanchez also said that he'd be open to wearing an electronic ankle monitor if that would make the court feel more comfortable as well. But so for my recommendation, I would recommend a $2,500 secured bond, Judge.
It's always the
Thank
kids.
you.
Think about
After
the children.
hearing from counsel, and counsel, did you have a chance to read the state's recommendation?
I didn't, Judge.
Okay.
What was that recommendation?
Yeah, just for the record, and so this is from the Attorney General's office from Ms. Sweeney. She's requesting a $100,000 cash bond.
Damn.
Now, just a quick breakdown of her rationale. The amount of the fentanyl pills that were involved in the transaction.
Nah, no wonder. That fool
The
got
fact that he was
cracked.
on probation, his prior felony convictions, and the fact that he's facing mandatory prison time.
Yup, I knew it.
Were generally what her rationale was for the $100,000 cash bond. Did you have any response to that?
The feds. I want to be.
Just, well, in regard to the amount of drugs that were found, Judge, none were found on, again, Mr. Sanchez. It all came from an undercover buy with Mr.
Entertainment
Figueroa.
purposes, that's right.
And really the only thing tying him to this at all is a confidential informant from seeing his driver's license saying that he was there. And so the amount doesn't really matter. I understand he does have the prior convictions. And like I said, he's willing to show up, and he has shown up in the past. And he'd also be willing to wear an ankle monitor
They had a
if
news
that would make the
conference on
court
it?
feel more comfortable.
Thank you.
And I guess if you are inclined to give a higher bond like that, Judge, if we could do a secured bond, because, I mean, $100,000 in cash is going to be hard for him to put up.
Understood. After hearing from defense counsel and reviewing the record before me, I'm going to be making the following orders. I am going to be setting a cash bond, but not as high as the state's requesting. I'm setting a $50,000 cash bond.
50.
If Mr. Sanchez is able to post that bond, he'll be placed on pretrial services release with the electronic ankle monitoring. He's not to have any contact with the co-defendant, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and if he's able to post bond, he must contact his probation officer within 3 days. As to his probation violation matter, his next court date on that will be February 27th in the Downtown Superior Court. Affirming the bond set by the probation violation judge is a $250 secured appearance bond, same conditions of release. Counsel, do you have any further questions for me?
Did you say who we were in front of for that next hearing, Judge? Do you know?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know who. All I have is a date and location.
Okay.
Commissioner McGuire.
Oh, okay.
For the probation violation.
All right. Thank you.
If somebody's
else?
telling on him,
No,
he's
sir.
done.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, please keep in touch with your attorney. And again, your next earliest court date is going to be February 26th.
Yeah, he just came from the streets.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's why you see him in street clothes right now. Are you watching this
Please
live?
get
Hell
Wendy
yeah.
Orchard to the podium. Nicholas Wilson Johnson to the chair, please.
And this is live. This is Maricopa.